Hey guys, today we're going to be watching Houston Police Chase August 24th, 2018. And now you're following a police presence. Now that's a sedan. We're talking about the northeast side of town. And now it's been okay. And now you know what is going on. This is the northeast side of town. You can see that vehicle is a sedan. It's been followed and surrounded by several police officers. The Houston police, as well as the county is out there. They have been following that guy for the last 10 to 15 minutes or so, and they seen the driver going at high rate of speed. The question is, what is his plan? I don't. We have also as well. We know the news helicopters is going to be behind that sedan. The car is good at the speed limit, to be honest with you, as well.
Yes, sir. Okay, Don. Yeah, what can you tell us? I mean, as I've been watching this, it's just he's not really going at a super high rate of speed. But he's certainly moving along at a clip that he clearly doesn't want to stop.
She's certainly
does not want to stop.
moving along now. Does not want to stop. As you just see, the sheriff's car just joined in. Just mainly being chased by HPD. And that car is going at a speed, going to speed limit. To be honest with you, first was reported as a slow speed chase. Why this car is being stopped? I hadn't tried. They're not pulling over for the number of deputies as well behind them as well. This is, as you mentioned, going on now for about 10 to 15 minutes or so. HPD car just pulled up. And again, as you mentioned, going on now for about 10-15 minutes. And at one point, they seen the driver picking up some speed. And now they're following that silver Volvo. And now, just before the newscast started, now they have surrounded this vehicle. They were right there above them. It's certainly the highway. The point is only we're talking about the 59 Northeast Harris County. This is the Northeast Texas Freeway.
That's just one of the ramps for I think the HOV, but they're going to be approaching the Beltway.
They're going to be approaching the Beltway.
That's correct.
And we're going to be coming up on Intercontinental Airport. And they're not going to let us transition through the airspace, so let's listen.
You wonder whether he's going to take... You see cars pulled over there. There must be officers way ahead, sort of clearing the path. And that's always so very dangerous, especially when you get a high-speed chaser, high-speed runner here. He just doesn't want to stop. You know that there are going to be problems, people on and off the freeway, and what they always attempt to do is just try and clear a way, make a path for the person so that he doesn't bump into anyone.
Well, it's amazing that at this time of the afternoon, at the beginning of the afternoon rush, that there aren't many other cars on the freeway headed outbound to begin with. So, based on the speed of the car, you can tell that it's just not a problem. There is somewhat of a backup behind it because it is going slower than the rest of the freeway traffic, because as you know, most of Houston freeway traffic doesn't mind the speed limit anyway.
Yeah, and they just passed the North Beltway, by the way. There's that was all the interchange, what you saw before that as you were on a wide shot. That was the northbound Beltway. So here they continue to move. And if at this point they're going to be reaching Kingwood soon, and who knows how long he's going to stay on this freeway. But he doesn't seem to be interested in making any exit, Don.
No, it doesn't appear to be. He's over in, looks like lane number 2, the second from the left. And it looks as though that they're headed up to East Texas. I don't know how else to put it. It's amazing that we're doing the speed limit here. I'm not quite sure why they allow this to continue. And why not do the pit maneuver on it? I understand that state law has changed, and in some cases that is allowed now. But it certainly is annoying that all of the traffic is backed up, and this is going to be a scene, as you know, when this finally comes to an end. And it just really puts a crimp in the afternoon drive.
Well, and they certainly had opportunity to do it, Don. As we watched the Houston Police Department as well as the county, they had surrounded this vehicle. They were right there on the side of it, and they could have easily done a pit maneuver because no one was in front. But apparently they just have to be very, very careful, especially at speeds when they're traveling at 60 miles an hour or higher. You know, you could cause a rollover if you're doing a pit maneuver.
And to that point, good afternoon, Don. This is Elisa Rivas here. I'm joining Art Rescone. You know, as you get farther northbound right now, you head toward the river, you head toward Humble, Kingwood, as Art mentioned, and the highway starts to get elevated. So you do worry about causing any kind of a crash and causing some additional damage or injury that might go along with really going off of the freeway because this is such an unpredictable situation.
Right. Continuing to watch now, we're looking at a sedan, that gray one, right, silver one, right there in the middle of your screen. It continues to move. They have no intention of stopping. That's a pretty nice Volvo. You know, it has a V6 underneath. It has the power to really move, but he's certainly not using that power. I mean, this guy's traveling the speed limit. We don't have any indication as to why he's running, though, right, Don?
No, not as we know so far, Art. It just appears as that we're doing the speed limit in lane number 2, and we are headed northbound out of town, headed up to East Texas on the East Tex Freeway.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's thinking. You know, maybe he just thinks he's just out on a Sunday drive, and he's not aware of the police around him. But he has to be running for some reason. We don't know why. We're trying to gather that information. As soon as we do, we have our desk here looking into several indications as to why he might be running. There are multiple agencies clearly involved here. Houston Police Department is still all around him, as well as the county. You have the county. Chambers County. Did it start in Chambers County? Is that what we're hearing, Alana?
Yeah, they called and asked for some help from HPD.
Wow. Oh, okay. So if it started in Chambers, that's way south, yeah.
They just passed the park and ride. So they are now passing through Humble, getting up toward Kingwood. If we can see around us, are we seeing other law enforcement agencies like local PDs joining in on this? Are we seeing more law enforcement or just the same ones following this driver?
Well, we did see HPD and Harris County Sheriffs. I don't know whether they have dropped off, and I really don't want to
they just really drop off. We don't want to lose sight of that.
As you can tell, the Department of Public Safety is here, not only on the ground,
Copy.
also
Okay,
here with us, here following above. And one of the things that I did notice just a moment ago, the Department of Public Safety
just a moment ago,
flew past this car,
they just really flew past this car, trying to get ahead of them. One of the issues, they're not going to do a pit maneuver. One of the issues is they're going to place a spike strip, so they can clear the freeway, so they can go ahead and lay out some spike strips. They can go ahead and lay out the spike strips as well. Not everybody gets affected by those spike strips. How is it going to play out? This could go on for miles. This could go on for miles. Spike strips used many times. It's a 12-foot strip. We're talking about an entire freeway that's 40, 50 feet long. They don't even have a spike strip long, so they can easily maneuver themselves around those spike strips. And as well, they are hearing from the Chambers County. Excuse me. As well, they are hearing from the Chambers County Sheriff. This has been going on. This chase has been going on 20 to 25 minutes. Beginning the traffic stop, and we believe that driver is being impaired. They want to stop that woman for being impaired. Again, this chase has been going on for about 20. Again, this chase has been going on for the past, been going on 20 to 25 minutes. It began at the traffic stop since the chase started. Since the police started this chase, they're staying on it now. They're staying on it the entire time. They're told that is a female suspect in a Volvo, woman in a silver Volvo. Now, everyone else is slowing down. This is coming to a play. This is coming to a play, and now they're gonna do some spike strip now, and this is coming to a play. This is coming to a play, And now the spike strip through the entire street. And now they've probably forced her to in the area, and now it caused the tires to go flat. They just did a spike strip. It's successful now. Yay!
And it looks like it's slowing down.
Looks like she's slowing down. Let's listen.
So let's see what he does. He's clearly off to the shoulder.
Almost at a stop, but then he kept rolling sort of at the last second there. But we do believe that those tires are probably flat because the slowdown happened right after we believe they drove over some spike strips. I know that you've got to sort of get positioned over all of these different overpasses here in this spot.
Let's see what this person does behind the wheel. But clearly those wheels are, it looks like they're flat. So the tires will start ripping up here. They'll start shredding soon, and he'll be on his rims or his wheels once those tires shred. So let's see what he continues to do.
They're using a lot of patience. They're just
they are.
Stay behind him and follow at a safe distance. You can see those police cruisers are not getting really, really close because Don made a great point. This could be an armed driver. They don't know what it is that they'll be up against when this vehicle comes to a stop, so they have to take all safety precautions.
Being very careful, and Don, what we have seen repeatedly is a lot of patience by Houston Police Department and even the county as well with these chases.
Now we don't have time.
Play out,
maybe we can finish it when we get out.
They're going to stop. But, there's opportunity to do something here. Go ahead.
I can take it now when I get home.
Looks like they may try and box him in here. Let's see if they have a vehicle up ahead. Right there on the side of him, I think probably, just, who knows, rolling down the window and trying to talk to him. I don't know. Let's see what's happening here.
I suppose if they feel like they don't need to get in an accident, there's probably no reason to. So they are probably wanting to make sure that this person does not exit the freeway. On the freeway, you're kind of trapped up there. There's retaining walls, but it looks like he's going to go for the exit, perhaps.
Look at the big pickup they have there. It has that front-end grill. That's like almost a ramming vehicle.
Yeah.
They have it all prepared.
Yeah, that was Kingwood Drive that we just saw, right?
Yeah, they're getting ready to exit here. That's the Kingwood Outlet stores right there on the side. So they have it blocked. They're going to stop him. They have the guns drawn. They're telling him, they're yelling at him right now. You can see with their motion of their hand.
And this person is totally surrounded at this point.
Yeah.
Multiple officers, multiple agencies surrounding.
There's no place to go, but he's going to try and go. There he goes. He's going to go right around the officers. Well, that was attempt number 1 to stop him. Actually, number 2, because the spike strip certainly didn't work.
Off of the East Tex Freeway at Kingwood Drive exit, as we saw, they are still really staying close to him, trying to get him to pull over. Yeah,
well, let's see. Oh, okay, all right. Now this is where stupidity really comes into play here. Now he reversed his position on the feeder, but there are so many officers around him. Ooh, they
finding ways to
I think they missed a chance. They probably could have put that vehicle right there in front and stopped him, but he is going now the opposite direction on the feeder. He's clearly blocked by all of those other vehicles. No chance. Now he's going into the outlet store, area right there. This is off of Kingwood Boulevard, right there, just off the feeder.
Yeah, this is obviously a spot where we're going to find plenty of other people, plenty of vehicles parked, and so, you certainly hope that people get the word that there's something going down and they need to stay inside and stay safe until this comes to an end, because, the officers are specifically not, engaging him with their vehicles. They're not causing accidents. They're just trying to let this peacefully play out, but it also looks like there's some employees out there at this U-Haul location that are probably sort of unaware of what's going on.
There they have. They've come out with, they're trying to open the door now. Well, I'm sure they have. You saw the guns. The guns are drawn right there on that driver. Let's hope that he stops. They have the driver's door open. They're going to probably yank him out at this point. That canopy is sort of in the way. We're not able to get the complete picture, but it looks like this may be over and he doesn't have a chance of taking off once again. Don, are you having a different angle?
Well, the best that we can do right now because of this canopy that's over the scene here. We're going to come around, and it looks as though that they're having a struggle.
Yeah. Wow.
Got him on the ground now.
Got him on the ground.
This is where the potential impairment probably comes into play, because most people with that many guns on them probably would have hopped out of that vehicle, but they literally did have to physically drag him out of that car. And now you can see these officers getting handcuffs on him and making sure that he is not armed, or she. We haven't even gotten a good picture of who this driver is. And again, if you're just joining us, this all started as a traffic stop, but no crime committed to begin with. They had reason to believe that this driver may have been impaired. It looks like this might be a woman dog.
Yes, it looks like it may be a woman. She obviously is in tears. She's now handcuffed, and they are going to get her up, and they will search her. They may have to even bring in a female officer to do that. But at any rate, she does not, I really can't tell whether or not she is impaired, but there is a good possibility that may be part of the problem here. Not sure.
Well, this is a rather surprise ending. We did have another chase come to an end pretty recently with a woman, but that's actually pretty few and far between with as many of these chases as we have covered.
Yeah, Eric Barajas here, just relieved Art, and yeah, luckily this came to a peaceful end. As far as we know, we didn't see any damage to other vehicles, no one was injured. They've gotten this lady out of the car now, and they're inspecting that vehicle as well as she's taken to the back seat of that patrol car. This always could have been a lot worse, and that's the silver lining here, especially on Houston streets and what we've seen in the past.
Absolutely, Don. We were talking about this as the chase went on. It looks like they're using some sort of a blanket there to be able to conduct a search on this woman, and maybe even get her seated there. But just a lot of patience that played out throughout this chase that went really across much of our city up on the north side, and cooler heads prevailing the whole time, right?
Well, that's right. I mean, we're very thankful that it ended this way. It's a shame that these chases have to go on as long as they do, but sometimes, in this instance, it appears as though that all of that played out well because nobody seems to be injured.
John, what was also interesting about this chase, since we've seen so many here in the Houston area, unfortunately, is it seemed like there were different tactics used. We saw a lot of boxing in, a lot of vehicles getting ahead of the car. So many times it seems like they just stay behind, several vehicles behind the vehicle that's being chased. It seemed like we saw different tactics and different maneuvers used by police on this one.
What you also have to understand, Eric, is the fact that you've got multiple agencies involved: Houston Police Department, Harris County Sheriff's Department, Public Safety, who knows who else is there. You've also got airborne, so there's a lot of communication amongst all of the officers, and not all are trained exactly the same way. So they all kind of have to get on the same page, and sometimes that can be difficult, as you can imagine, in a fluid situation like this chase.
All right, and we want to mention as we continue our coverage here that you are now watching Eyewitness News at 4 p.m. And if you are just joining us, we'll get you caught up on what's happening here. We believe this chase started in Chambers County, and the Chambers County Sheriff says that a crime was not committed to begin with here, but they had reason to believe that this driver could potentially be impaired. As the chase continued, they called HPD to provide some backup, and this is where we saw this play out. Right along the East Tex Freeway, past Beltway 8, up through northeast Harris County. And Don was just talking about some of those tactics, all those different agencies and authorities staying some distance back. And then at one point, they managed to get the 59 totally closed and get spike strips across every single lane of that freeway, so that no matter what, this vehicle was going to end up running over those spike strips. That's actually a pretty incredible feat, because they're having to call up ahead and get all of those lanes closed down. We saw a total stoppage of the traffic there, and it worked very effectively, because right after that happened, this went from probably a 60-mile-an-hour chase to about 15 miles an hour, and we saw it end really right after that.
Yeah, again, luckily, no damage as far as we know that we can tell from watching this chase for at least more than the last half hour. So good news there as well.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's get some more breaking news right now. We'll get updated on that car chase a little bit later on. But right now, the Texas Education Agency has suspended the Rhodes School on the Wallaceville Road for fire.
a Subaru retailer for service is the best way to keep your Subaru the way you love. They'll care for your vehicle with factory-trained teams, genuine Subaru parts, specialized tools, and a free month. In fact, we just reached out to authorities and are waiting to get an update on exactly what led to that chase, but it did all end here in this parking lot in a U-Haul. In fact, right as these employees were putting up this awning, that is where the car ended up. Certainly quite a scare for them. She came in here along with a line of officers. The suspect was yelling, "You're killing me," to officers as she was arrested. Her car's tires were blown out after an hour-long high-speed chase ended in a parking lot. It all started in Chambers County just before 3, when she failed to stop at a traffic stop. Sky 13 shows the woman weaving in and out of traffic. The chase went north on 59. Authorities put out spike strips, causing her tires to go flat. Shortly after that, it appears she was going to pull over. Troopers approached her car, but she kept going. And it finally came to a stop near 494. She pulled into this U-Haul.
And she wouldn't stop. And the next thing I knew, we just had all the policemen and policewomen just completely trying to block her off, but she went past them.
She was handcuffed and placed into an ambulance. No word on what charges she could face or why she was running. Investigators say she was possibly impaired.
From Kingwood, it's the police chase you saw. That breaking news coming from Kingwood, it's the police chase you saw as it happened late this afternoon right here on Channel 2. At one point, the driver, a woman who did not want to be stopped, nearly ran over some troopers as they tried to get her out of the car.
It all ended at a U-Haul business in Kingwood. Channel 2's Sophia Beausoleil just got to the scene and is joining us live now with more on the story. Sophia?
The suspect was taken into an ambulance and the car she was driving was just towed away. And authorities were here questioning witnesses, but they have just left. But you can see this is where the chase actually ended, here at the U-Haul Center. Now let's take a look at that Sky 2 video from earlier. So the chase involved multiple law enforcement agencies in multiple counties. Chambers County Sheriff's Office says the chase started around 3:25 this afternoon when police tried to pull the driver over who was possibly under the influence. Authorities thought the chase was coming to an end on 59 in Houston, but the suspect then took off and nearly knocked over an officer. Now, the suspect was weaving in and out of traffic. At one point, it started to slow down, and then that's when she turned into the Kingwood area and into that U-Haul Center where she stopped and was taken into custody. Now, we did get video from a witness, and you can hear what the suspect was saying. She was repeating multiple times, "You're killing me, you're killing me." And we talked to an employee here who happened to see everything happen.
I guess you guys want me dead and stuff like that, just kind of talking erratically like that. But she kind of stopped after, a few moments, a few minutes or so.
And you were just going about your business?
Yeah, just about it was a regular day. Like I say, we were putting up we're fixing a couple of things under the canopy, and one of my coworkers, he had just stopped blowing it out, and she just came right through.
Now, at this point, we do not know the suspect's name or if she was possibly under the influence. That is all still under investigation. But as soon as we get any other updates, we will let you know. Reporting live from Kingwood, Sophia Beausoleil, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Taking a quick commercial break. We'll be back.
The breaking news we've been following since about 3:30 this afternoon. A woman leads police on a wild police chase from Chambers County into Kingwood.
Channel 2's Sophia Beausoleil is joining us live from Kingwood tonight with more on what she's learned about this chase and the woman who led it. Sophia.
Well, Bill and Dominique, whenever people arrive to a U-Haul Center, they usually drop their vehicles right here, those rented trucks. Well, today employees got a very unexpected surprise. They got the end of a police chase, and we spoke with an employee who saw the end of it.
She really tried to avoid the police with all four times, man.
Steve Perkins was going about his day at the U-Haul Center in Kingwood when he heard sirens.
And she just came right through. I'm talking about, it was crazy.
Chambers County Sheriff's Office says deputies tried to pull over the driver of a silver Volvo who appeared to be under the influence. Authorities say 58-year-old Alicia Kozubski didn't stop and led police on a chase. Sky 2 video shows the woman driving fast on 59. After authorities put down spike strips, her tires popped, and she started to slow down. It looked like she was going to stop, but then took off and almost injured a deputy. The suspect then made a U-turn against oncoming traffic onto the feeder and pulled into a U-Haul center where state troopers pulled her out of the car and put her into custody.
I guess you guys want me dead and stuff like that. Just kind of talking erratically like that. But she kind of stopped after, some moments.
A nearby witness captured this video of the woman screaming at authorities and saying, quote, "You're killing me." She was then placed into an ambulance for evaluation. Now, at this time, we do not know the status of that woman and how she's doing when it comes to her mental health, but this is still very much under investigation, and as soon as we get any other new details, we will let you know. Reporting live from Kingwood, Sophia Bosley, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Alright, thank you.